All right, well, thanks for checking out this video. I'm on some business travel this week, and I am going to be in Minnesota doing some client interviews, so I am unable to host a live session. Just to make sure that we're still moving forward on e-badges and curriculum. Wanted to make sure that I uploaded a short video and created some sort of document to guide you through what we would have covered during class from a content perspective. So, excuse me. Up to this point, we've talked about, all four dimensions of wellness, so physical, mental, emotional, and social wellness. In our course text, we've also looked at some other resources and had some different discussion questions to think through, either individually or as a class, as it relates to those wellness dimensions. We looked at a couple checklists about emotional wellness and social wellness and had some conversations. But up to this point, we haven't really talked a lot about the spiritual component of well-being, and so we've talked a lot about the emotional and the social piece, and so we've covered two separate lectures because each of those, the emotional wellness and the social wellness, had their own chapter in the textbook, but we really haven't talked about spiritual wellness and what that means. So just a quick overview of what spiritual wellness is, especially in the context of spiritual wellness, faith, and religion. So very interconnected ideas, but also distinct. So they are separate. They're not necessarily the same, but as we'll see here in just a minute, there can be a lot of overlap. So religion, typically referred to as a structured set of beliefs and practices, typically connected with a higher power. This includes formal doctrines, rituals, and organizational structures. And it provides a communal framework or group framework for spiritual practices and beliefs. So whether that's praying a certain way, or going to church, or doing some sort of mission as a part of your spiritual and religious practice, those are formal structures within a religion. But then we have faith. So faith is a more internalized personal conviction or trust in something greater than ourselves. Similar to religion, often without empirical evidence. There are certainly religious artifacts that we can date. We can find out where in time and when on the planet we think a particular object came to be. Whereas in faith, this is something that's really internalized. We typically don't have an artifact associated with faith. This is internal to us. And faith can be specific to religious beliefs or even broader, so encompassing this idea that there's trust in life or humanity. And so this is our internal guide. It's an internal compass. It can be a component of religion, but it also exists outside of religious structures. And then we have spirituality. So defined by some as a sense of peace, purpose, and connections to others. This is certainly very personal and individualized. It may involve formal rituals or communal beliefs, but it may not. And so spirituality can be practiced through meditation, reflection, nature, relationships, artwork, which can be, auditory. Certainly it can be through music or something visual. And it's highly individualized and can exist within and outside of religious structures. So very similar ideas, a lot of overlap. They can exist in and with one another, but they can also be independent of each other at the same time. And so you may want to pause here for a second and just kind of look through these again. Maybe you want to rewind if I said anything that kind of you want to think about a little bit more, but feel free to pause here and just kind of grasp an understanding of similar, interconnected, but three separate things. And so another way to think about this is religion often provides an organized path. So specific practices, a community, a church, or bringing together folks at a synagogue or a mosque, or certainly some other structure or social communal group. And that's where spiritual needs are met as a group. So you attend church for Christian faith, right? If you're attending a Christian church, you're with other Christians. And there's that communal structure around religion, and then you engage in your practices, whether it's prayer or studying a Bible is just an example, right? So there's a lot of other religions to consider. And then faith. So again, more internal. This represents a trust or belief in something greater, which may or may not involve formal religious practices. So very much internalized to ourselves, that trust in life, in the universe, or others. And then spirituality, again, highly personal and can encompass a broad range of practices or beliefs that help a person feel connected to themselves, others, and the universe. Okay, cool. We should be just under 7 minutes for the video. I didn't want to take too long here, but did want to touch on a few points. So what I've created is a document that has 3 parts. Should not take long. The idea here is not to take up 50 minutes that we would have normally spent during class. With this video and the document that I've provided, you might finish all of this in 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You may take 50 minutes or longer. It's up to you. Go through this document and just look through these things and do the self-audit. Think about where you are with your e-badges. Look through some of the content with Supporting Wellbeing, some of the stuff that I've provided, because really the purpose right now is for you to explore spiritual wellness. What is spirituality? Because it's the spiritual component combined with emotional and social. Those 3 go into this Supporting Wellbeing e-badge. So if you don't have it yet, or even if you don't have the e-badge, spend some time here to kind of investigate spiritual well-being and what that looks like. So cool. All right, wrapping up here, under 7 minutes. Writing assignment 4, if you haven't done it already, please, after this lesson, do put that together, upload it. Mental health first aid is coming up. And then, of course, that positive project is going to be due here in a few weeks as we get closer to December. If you have questions about that, please do reach out. Don't be afraid to contact me over email during class, whatever works for you. Okay, cool. Thank you very much.